Hey y'all, it's Christy Cook from Teadoddles. It's time for another Yarny Goodness Podcast. One of my favorites, but of course they're all my favorites. So, this is episode number 2 of Yarny Goodness Podcast. I'm super excited today because I finished my pixel and lace heart scarf. Pattern is up on the blog. By the time this video goes live, I will have the second tutorial video for it, and that is what I'm wearing. I just love how it turned out. It is, I just have to weave in some of my ends for my the border. Look at it. I love it. I debated about blocking this, but I just love the drape it has, even though it pulls on the heart shape, but I still love it. I love the threads that I put in it. It is a free pattern, so you can go to the blog and check it out. There's a 2-part blog post because I showed you how to do the hearts in one blog post, and then I showed you how to do the trim in another blog post, and then the written patterns in the second blog post. It came out today, because today's Friday. It's Friday evening, and I'm filming this for Saturday. So anyway, but I did use, let's see, where is the bag? There's so much stuff piled over here, and now all of my, I'm gonna set this right here. My papers are falling. Yeah, a lot to show y'all today, so let's see. I can unbury the bag I buried. I spent so much time putting all this stuff together, and it's still so disorganized. So I used 2 yarns that I got from Hobby Lobby clearance. So I didn't see these yarns up for sale on their website anymore, so I guess they're not making them anymore, but I still have 2 skeins left. I've got one of the sidewalk hopscotch is what it's called. It's the more black and white and grays, and then this one is just called neutral. So it's a very soft yarn. I love it. It is 75% acrylic and 25% polyamide. It's a bulky number 5. I have used Lime Heartland, not Heartland, Homespun, to make my first scarf, my first pixel and lace pattern, which was just like a applique type of freeform thing. It wasn't a scarf. So yeah, I don't know if you can get this yarn anymore because I couldn't find it except on eBay, which is a good sign that it's not for sale anymore. But so I used almost 2 whole skeins of that because I made 12 hearts for my scarf because I like it to be really long. So this is all I have left of the 2 that I used. And then I used, I think this is a little over half of this ball of Heartland, Lime Brand Heartland yarn, and Cuyahoga Valley, I think that's the color. It was another one I got from the Hobby Lobby haul, and I only had 1 of them, so it was perfect to use for trim. So that's my first finished object, which is good because I don't really have the other finished objects I'm going to show you is stuff I made previously because I don't have any other new finished objects because I've been mostly working on this scarf. So, which actually didn't take that long to make. The hearts work out really quick. The only part that took a little bit of time, you're gonna see some strings because I haven't tied that in, but I was doing the surface crochet in between, but I really wanted my heart's shape to stand out. That's my threads were so good, so close together, and you can see that it's on the front and the back, and I show you how to do that in my video tutorial and some pictures on the blog. So hopefully it makes sense because it's a little different than what you may have done before. I don't know, you may have done it before. But I like to crochet anytime I can to piece things versus doing a whip stitch or like a mattress stitch some people use. So, but this is really long. There's a picture of me on the blog wearing it, and it comes down. You're not gonna be able to see this. Nope. It comes down to my knees, and I'm 5'8", so this is pretty long. But I like really long scarves so I can bundle up with them when it gets cold. I'm pretending like it's cold right now because the AC's on. So that's the only reason I can tolerate having this around my neck. But you can certainly shorten it or lengthen it if you want by just adding or taking away scarves. Hearts, not scarves. So, yeah, I had to talk about that first because I was super excited, and that's the only finished object I have to show you that I've actually recently finished. So, the first thing I'm going to show you is something that was an epic fail for me. I decided to show this because I saw us on Summer's Tips and Stitches. She did a whole podcast or vlog, I think some people call it vlogs, about her crochet fails. Because, you know, I'm sure everybody has crochet fails or any crafting fails because it doesn't always work out the way you think it is. And I'm sorry about the angle of this camera. I feel like you can see too much of my mess back here, but I'm sure as a crafter or crocheter, you know that comes with the territory. Anyway, so this is the first pair of crocheted socks I ever made, which I wore exactly once, and I barely got them back off my foot. So they're very long and very narrow at the top. And it has very little stretch to it, just so you know. So there's no, I have big calves, y'all. There's no, I don't know why this is so wide and this is so narrow. Yeah. And they're also, I use like a worsted weight yarn to make these. It's not very comfortable to walk in, I'm just going to say. Because the texture on your foot, I don't like it. So, yeah, this is, I have this in a pile of stuff that's like, what am I going to do with this? I guess it could kind of be like a stocking or something, maybe. Because I have two of them. I did make two of them, even though they do not fit. They fit my foot. But try to get this portion on over your foot. And then it just has a squish all down at the bottom of my ankle because, like I said, I got big calves, y'all. And this is way too tiny. This is probably more the size that would fit around my calf. And then this part is so narrow. Anyway, that is one of my epic fails in crochet. You know, I do remember reading that pattern and it said to use a certain type of yarn. I thought, oh, I'm just going to use this, it'll be fine. No. When you're making socks, you really need to go with the yarn that they suggest. The type of yarn they suggest, because it's going to make a better sock. I have made a pair since then that did work out well, but I'm not going to show those today. I want to show these. This is one of my epic fails. These Snoopy shaped socks. But, okay, so now I'm going to move on to some finishes I've finished before that y'all may not have seen, so I just decided to pull some of those out. So one is this hat. It's one of my favorite hats. It's got that little bobbly stitch. I have a blue one. This is not actually a bobble stitch. This is, I don't remember what kind of stitch it is, and I think this pattern came off of Little Monkey's Crochet, but I don't remember where this one came out. So I've had it for a little bit, but it's kind of slouchy in the back like that. I really love the color, and I did actually get to wear it a few times this past winter because it snowed here, which is unusual. Yeah, it's super cold, but I really like this hat, and it's due for a good whooshing before it gets cold. But It's one of my favorites. So that's a finished object from a while back. Move these over here. And I have another hat. This is actually my husband's hat. And it looks really small, but this stretches so much. This is one of my favorite hat patterns to crochet. I made this for him. He's a hunter, so that's why it has the camouflage kind of yarn. This pattern, and I have some notes here just stuck over there because everything's falling off. I have to find the paper with a note on it. I was so organized, and how did it all fall apart so quickly? Okay, there it is. This is called a bulky hat pattern. It's by Umbalka Design Crochet. I got this pattern during last year's holiday stash down, which there's another one just started, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's still a free pattern on her website. I'll put a link down there. But it's you don't crochet in the round. You crochet like little ridges, and it stacks, and then you make like panels, and you add on. You do crochet onto the panel as you're going, you know, but it's just so you can make it. The pattern she has written is to have one for kids and for adults. So I really like this pattern because it stretches a lot, but I like crocheting at the side for a hat instead of the round, which is not always fun for me. But I used, where did that yarn go I had over here? Oh my goodness. There it is. Oh. I used this Cascade yarn, Pacific. It is a 40% superwash merino wool and 60% acrylic. This is a 100 gram or 3.5 ounce ball, 213 yards, 195 meters. It is, I don't know, I think it's a DK weight, but I don't see on here. It calls for a 4.5 to 5 millimeter or 7/8 hook, so I'm gonna say it's like a DK weight, or in between a worsted and a DK weight, but it's really soft. I have a whole nother ball of it. I've actually made 2 of these hats because I made one for my husband's uncle as well, and I made him another hat just like this, the same pattern but in some other colors. So I asked him if he wanted another one because I really wanted to make another one, but he's like, I think 2 is enough for now. So I have to find somebody else to make a hat for. I think I made one for my dad too. So I really like this hat pattern. I'm just gonna say. Alright, so let's move on to, okay, so this one is kind of a fail for me because I don't like the way it turned out. This was a free pattern, and I finished this not too long ago. It was, it's this breezy scarf from Line Brand. It was a free pattern. But you see how that looks? I know they used a different color yarn, but it's Hometown USA yarn, which is what I used. And I did wash and block this. Of course, I washed it in the washing machine with some sprinkle yarn, a sprinkle yarn scarf. It's probably why it's fuzzy, but that's not the problem. It's still so dense. It is so dense. It does not look loose like that other one at all, and it's super short. To me, for a scarf, I don't know. I just don't like this. I'd have to put a pin or something on it. There's no way, because it's so thick that I could wrap it. And it doesn't, if I stretch this out really far, it kind of looks like the texture in the picture, but it just looks more open in the picture to me. So I really just don't like it. I put these 2 colors together. I had these 2 skeins, and I had a piece of a skein, and then I put the other 2 in it, and I even made it wider than it said. I just don't like it. I don't know how I would even wear it. It's very warm, but I don't know. That for me was a fail because It's not what I was expecting. It's very heavy too, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But anyway, so next, this one's not a fail. It just, I made it out of an alpaca acrylic blend yarn. It's really cute, and I wish I could wear it. You see how it goes up? And the little pom-poms. It's like a drawstring cowl. I'm not going to put it on my neck because I can't wear it. Because it makes me itch very bad. I mean, even if I just do this, it feels like little stabbing things, right? It doesn't bother me to touch it like this. As a matter of fact, these pom-poms feel really soft. But if it gets it by my neck, which I was really sad about, because this was something I did a test pattern for a Linda Sutter from Little Mouse Crochet UK. This is the Anwin cowl, and I'll show you her in the, that's how it looks when you wear it. I made this, I think it was last year. I'm going to say last year so I don't feel like I've had it hidden for so long. It could have been in the year before, but she still has her Etsy shop open, but there's nothing in there right now, not even the pattern for this. I'm going to try to message her on Instagram and see if there's anywhere you can get the pattern, because like I said, she sent it to me to do a test crochet. I think she did release it at one time, but I couldn't find it in her shop or anything. So I really like this pattern, and I want to make me another one in a yarn that I could actually wear. So I was highly disappointed about that, because when I was crocheting with it, it felt so soft and nice, but on my neck, ooh, it's just stabby things. So anyway, so there's that. Then I have one more. This is my pattern, actually, that I released on the blog a while back. The first scarf pattern I ever did. I'm gonna say hey to my dog. That's Happy Lou. Say hey, Happy Lou. She doesn't hear me. She's deaf. She's just looking at me. She must want to go out. So, I'm gonna show you this, and I might have to pause to take her out. But this is a super scarf. It's called my migrating stitch super scarf. Can't remember the name of my own pattern. That's terrible, but I love it. It's very squishy and soft. See, it's just really chains and single crochets, and I called it a migrating stitch because you can see the single crochets, they change position as you go down, so they kind of migrate. And the reason I did it like this is like a super bulky yarn. This is Red Heart's Boutique. I'm not gonna remember the last part of it, but I'll put it down there in the box. And when I tried to crochet, this is like one ball of it. So when I tried to crochet like just a mesh or just stitches together, it got so stiff feeling, like it didn't have any drape to it, and I just didn't like that. So because this yarn's not really heavy, it's very light, but I didn't want the stitches so dense, and I just like the way that looks. So this pattern is on my blog as well, and it is free. I'll link to that. This is really great for any of those really bulky weight yarns you got, and if you don't want a super heavy dense scarf like that purple and yellow one. That one was very that one became very dense. It didn't work out like I thought. So those are all the finished objects I'm going to show you, even though I didn't technically finish anything but this scarf recently. That's okay. So we're going to talk about whips in a moment. I'm going to pause this and take my dog out. Okay, I'm back. Took the dog out. All she did was sniff around, really. She peed a little bit. She likes to sniff a lot because she's deaf, and she just sniffs of everything. Everything. Anyway, I took her out, come back in, got my scarf back on. Certainly wasn't going to wear that out there tonight, although it has cooled off a little bit. It's not cool enough to be wearing a big old scarf while you're walking around. Okay, so on to whips, okay? I have made some progress on some whips. I just haven't quite finished them yet. So this one, this is my second crochet hook bag that I've been working on. And I have, this is the way the front cover looks, like this. And then this is the inside panel. It has a little bit of scallops on the edge. And it said to sew this to it, but I'm crocheting it with a single crochet. That piece of yarn cover. And so I still have to finish attaching this, and I thought I was almost done after that, but I gotta make a flap for the top part. So this yarn is just really hard for me to crochet. This is that Line Brand 24/7 cotton. It's not a bad yarn. It feels really nice. It's just very the stitches get tight really easy, and it makes my hands start to hurt after a little bit. I can only crochet on it for so long, and then I just feel I'm tired of it. I will still crochet on something else, but I cannot only crochet on this for so long. So yeah, I haven't quite finished that yet, but hopefully I'll finish it soon. I do really like it still, but I probably won't make another one like this with this yarn. It is a better yarn for the crochet hook roll than the yarn I use for the other one, but like I said, it's really hard on my fingers. So this one's sitting on my yarn butler, which I love, and I need to make another one as soon as I can find another spice rack in the thrift store. I will be making me another one because I keep having to take my yarn off, swap them out because I need it. So alright, there's that. And the second thing I have made progress on is my crocodile stitch triangle poncho. I think that's what it's called. It's from Bonito Patterns. Let me take this off so you can see this. I've got one side completely finished. Once you get up to the top, it kind of just becomes a mesh. And so this is the part that fits over here. And then it would look like that. I really like it. It makes me smile. I like the colors. And I have done, let's see, this much of the second half. So I did decide to start with the blue on this half versus the gray, so that when it meets, it still looks like the stitches are flowing from one color to the next. So this is how far I've gotten on that sleeve. So let's see, that is not that far. So the first part goes really fast, but once you get to adding more crocodile stitches, it's like, so I've got all that still to do on that side. And I did have to get another ball of yarn. Even though I have some of this left, I knew it wasn't going to be enough to finish this. So this will be, it's taken 4 balls of this mandala. This is mandala yarn in Spirit. So it's taken 4 balls. Well, it probably won't take all of the 4th ball. And I have part that I had to take apart the second ball to match my colors in here, and you can see where, because I had to attach yarn at different points, this is not exactly lining up, but I'm okay with that as long as it's not like it just jumps to gray or something all of a sudden. So I'm okay with that. But I know I'll probably have half a ball left when I get done, maybe. But I did have to break some things up just to get into the color that I wanted to with the next ball. So that is that work in progress. Back into my project bag. Okay. I'm going to put my scarf back on because I just like it so much. So what's next I have? What's that? Okay, here we go. I did start it's called the Alicorn shawl. It is from Expression Fiber Arts. Yeah, Expression Fiber Arts. Yeah, that's got just finishing instructions on it, but this is it. It's a pretty big shawl. I got this as a free pattern because if you sign up for her email, she usually has a knitting or crochet or sometimes both pattern in her email that is free for a week. Then it becomes a paid pattern. The patterns is a pretty easy repeat, but you have to grow it as you repeat it. So they only give you the repeat for up to so many like the first few sections, and then it just says repeat these sections, but you have to add one as you're repeating. So there's no total count of stitches. It's just how long this is supposed to be and repeat these panels. So I had to make a chart in Excel to figure it out so I could keep up with my stitches and make sure I was on track. Which I'm not too upset about that because I didn't pay for the pattern, but if I had paid for that pattern, I would be a little upset about that because I had to do a lot of math and stuff to figure out, to make sure where my stitches should be approximately when I got to that length. I would have appreciated like at least a row count to you get to that length, or because she does say you can adjust the size, which is fine, but if the shawl's already been made, obviously, so you should have at least a row count, in my opinion. A row count and how many sections of the lace versus the solid panel, which is what they call it in there. So I don't dislike the pattern, but I feel like when I pay for a pattern, I shouldn't have to do all those things. So, that's just my opinion. But anyway, this is the one that I was going to make with my yarn from Darn Good Yarns. Because I had found, and I've already caked this up, and y'all, I've already asked for a yarn swift for my birthday. Because this tangled up so much when I was trying to cake it up. Because I don't have a yarn swift. I had it on the back of a chair. And it drove me insane. But anyway, this is the colorway Popsicle. This is sport weight recycled silk yarn from Darn Good Yarns. And I got my first skein. You can order you can pay $5 and get a surprise $15 gift. Well, a $15 item sent, and that was what one of them was. And I thought, oh my gosh, these are the thyroid cancer survivor ribbon colors. So I was excited about that, and I bought 2 more skeins. I used a discount code on both of them because I got a discount code once because my yarn box of the month was late, and then there was some email promotion. So they're usually $15.99 a skein, and so I got discounts on both of them. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm shaking y'all around, but anyway. So I was like, I knew I was going to use that for the Alicorn shawl because the colors in the shawl are similar to these anyway. And I really wanted something for this month. So hopefully I finish this before the end of this month. But because it is Thyroid Cancer Awareness Month. As I've said before, I am a thyroid cancer survivor. 5 years, cancer free. Whoop whoop. But anyway, I also got this month's Yarn Club. I got this yarn. Wait, I don't want to show you that yet. I got this yarn, which I thought, you see, it's got the tealy blue and it's speckled with the other colors. I was like, oh, that matches perfectly with my other yarn. So I decided to use this in with the other because I didn't have quite enough of the other. So I started mine with that yarn. And originally I was going to do the first whole section in that and then just switch to the other. But I decided I wanted to blend it a little bit. So this is what I have done so far. It's stuck down in here. Okay. Here we go. So I've got that yarn in the first part, and then I've come up to this other yarn, which is a little bright, I'll admit. But I think once I get everything blocked, having this in here with these colors will be okay. It's not a bad color for me. And from a distance, well, I actually like the pattern better from a distance. But anyway, I do like it. It's very soft. It's very lightweight because it's silk. So that is as far as I've gotten, because this is crocheted with a bigger hook than normal for the yarn size. This is like a number 2, and I think I'm using a, let's see, the hook right here, a 5mm, which is a H, I think. So it's a little large or size than you would typically use for this size yarn, but it gives it that nice light airy feeling, and I really like it. So this is how far I've gotten. Hopefully I can get finished with it and be able to wear it before the end of the month. So anyway, and I also want to say, you see my little stitch marker holding my place on there? There, get closer. Yeah. I would like to say a big thank to, oh my god, I can't forget her name now. I love watching her podcast, and now I can't think of the name. Oh my gosh, she's such a happy person, and I just saw her doing that on there, and it never occurred to me, as long as I've been crocheting, to do that. I always just leave my hook in it and kind of stick it in there, and of course it always falls out and I lose a stitch or something. So I saw her doing that on her podcast, and I really appreciate seeing things like that. So I love watching these podcasts, because you always learn something new. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing crochet or knitting or whatever you've been doing. There's always somebody out there that does something that you may not have ever thought about or done before. And her name, that's really getting on my nerves. I'm going to put it across the screen because I cannot remember her name right now. Her name is Hannah. Her name is Hannah. And she is Cozy Cottage Crochet. I'm pretty sure that's it. So, finally remembered. But I'm going to blame it on not having a thyroid. That's what I'm going to blame it on. Because it affects a lot of things, y'all. I'm just going to say. So, that's what I'm going to blame it on. Anyway, Hannah from Cozy Cottage Crochet. If you haven't watched her podcast, I really love her podcast. She is always so happy and upbeat, and she just has a great smile and attitude about her, and I love that. So, alright, is that all my works in progress? I think so. So, what do I want to talk about next? New yarn purchases or upcoming projects? Let's talk about upcoming projects first, and then I'll show you the new yarn, because I've got a good bit to show again. Yarn sales. But this will probably be the last month that I have a lot to show new yarn, because I got some water tonight, guys, because it's too late for coffee. Plus, I'm a little wired. I mentioned in my last podcast about some health issues I was having with my foot, and my foot is much better. My doctor put me on some steroids and antibiotics, and my foot has finally returned to normal size, and the rash and such has really gone away, and it's still a weird texture to my foot. I don't know how else to put that, but I still don't know what's going on. They did a biopsy of it. I haven't found the results yet. I went to the doctor last Friday, but we had a holiday week, so hopefully sometime next week I'll find out what's going on. But otherwise, my foot is doing much better. But I have to say, the steroids really revved me up and made me really zzz. And so I'm kind of coming down off of that a little bit, I guess. But, yeah. That's what was going on with my foot, in case you wanted to know. Of course, you probably just want to know what I'm going to crochet next, or the new yarns. I mean, that's way more interesting. So, alright. I gotta find my paperwork, y'all, because it has just gone all over the place. Oh, I did show y'all. Where did those buttons go? Okay, I was going to show you the other thing I got in my Darn Good Yarn monthly club. I showed you the yarn, which is part of my alicorn shawl. I've already caked it up and put it into that. But this was the pattern. It was a purse. And it has a cute little wooden button on it. And the club came with 4 cute little wooden buttons, which I had laying over here on my cart, but it has disappeared. I don't know where it went. So, sorry about that. But it did come with these cute little wooden buttons. Of course, I didn't make the purse. I just put it in my scarf. So, I am still enjoying the club. I have to say that it never comes on time. It always comes before the end of the month, but it never comes... They say that it's supposed to come between the 15th and the 20th, but it never comes between that time. As a matter of fact, I had to send an email because I was wondering where it was at, but like the next day or so it shipped out. They're having some troubles with their shipping or something. I do know that they use, I don't remember the name of the place, but it's a place that employs people with special needs or things like that, and so that they can have a job, and that's who they use to do their packaging and shipments for the yarn club. So I don't know if that's got something to do with it or not, but I think about that when I think about it being late, because I have a nephew that's autistic, and I know that one day a place like that will be a great place for him to contribute to society, because he wants to. He likes to help with things and feel like he has a place in society. So I think about that, and it doesn't bother me that it's late. But if you don't like it to be late, you probably shouldn't sign up for the club. But I still enjoy the club. I haven't been disappointed with what I've received yet, so I'm going to continue to be part of it. And they are an affiliate of mine on the blog, but they did not pay me to say that, okay? An affiliate, if you don't know, is different than like a paid sponsor. I put their links and stuff on my blog. Of course, I don't put links for anything that I don't use or try on my blog. I just don't do that. And if somebody happens to purchase through my link, I'll get a small percentage. It doesn't change your price or anything remotely for you. It just would give me a percentage. It's kind of like I get a little kickback for advertising for them. That's the way I look at it. But it only happens if somebody buys something. So I just want to say that so that there's no confusion. But moving on. I did get my second addition to my Jimmy Bean's Yarn Club as well. I have not managed to crochet any more into it, but it is a shawl. This is what it's supposed to look like after you finish this month, which I have not yet put that yarn in there. Mine still is like this because I just have last month's put into it. So, I can't. But the yarns are really pretty. They came. Lots of colorful yarns. Like that. And then more of this neutral color. This one looks a little different type of yarn than this one. This one's more textured than that one. That was with the first one. So I haven't looked to see what kinds of yarns it is yet, but it's all wool. It usually is. Got another packet of this handmade lotion by Soak. I have used some of this. I really like it. The citrus one I haven't tried this lacy kind. What was the... trying to find... what on earth was the little... they always come with a little extra something, and I don't know what it was because it is not in my bag. So I have no idea. I don't remember what it was. Unless I put it somewhere else. I thought I had it in this bag, but I do not. Oh man, I'm never gonna remember what it was. But they always send a little something. They always send that little packet of lotion, or in the last one it's usually something to wash your finished product in, and a little something. Because I know in the previous bags I've gotten little scissors. You always get the bag with the first one, a bag like this. And then you usually get, I've gotten the scissors in one. I got some stitch markers in one. I do not remember what came in the second one. Oh, yes I do. It was a little teeny tiny roll of washi tape, which, that's not in here. I don't know what I did with it. It was very tiny. It said it was for marking your place on the pattern. It was like, it had little gold lightning bolts on it. And I don't know what I did with it, so I'm sorry. But that's what came with it. A little tiny roll of washi tape. Moving on. Let's see. What was I going to talk about next? Oh, some upcoming things. These are all... Okay, I already talked about that. Okay, so I guess I'll go to new yarn, because some of the new yarn is stuff I'm going to use for upcoming projects. Okay, so I have a yarn from Hirschner's. I believe that's right. I've never ordered from them before. I saw someone else talking about it and I checked them out. And they had some interesting things. And then I got I had an email, get like a 10% coupon for signing up for the email. But I noticed that their shipping is like, the more you spend, the more the shipping is. It has nothing to do with what you ordered. But I was like, I don't like shipping like that. But then I got an email with a coupon for 8% off my total order and 18-cent shipping. So that was a better coupon than the 10% off my order, because it was like over $10 to ship it. So I used that coupon. I got my first order from them. I did order, I left that latch hook up there, but I ordered a latch hook mat. I used to do latch hooking a long time ago when I was younger, and I enjoyed it. I'm going to use this for some wall art and a rug that I want to make. And the rug's actually going to be out of knit scraps, like fabric knit scraps. So it's not going to actually be yarn, but the wall art I have planned will be yarn. So that's something that will be upcoming. I did order a latch hook from them. It's way up there though. It has a wooden handle. It's just looks just like a latch hook. So and then I got from them, I got this yarn. It was very interesting. It is made of 70% superwash wool and 30% rayon from bamboo. I had never seen a yarn with that composition before. This is a number 3. The color is limestone. That's what it looks like. No, that's pretty much the color that it is. And I really like that colorway. It's fairly soft yarn. It's kind of a smooth texture to it. It doesn't have a high twist on it. You can see, maybe you can see. Ooh, where's the camera? I don't know if you're going to be able to see that at all. There is 3.5 ounces or 100 grams, 275 yards, 252 meters on this ball. a little mini cake. Yeah, I haven't crocheted anything with it yet, but it seems like a pretty decent yarn. It seems like it'll probably be really warm but lightweight because it has the rayon from bamboo in it. So I haven't decided what to make, and when I decide what to make with it, I may order another skein to go with it. I don't know yet. Or I may just make a scarf. I don't know if there's enough for a scarf, but anyway, that was one of the things I got. It's called Willow Drift. It's from Hirschner's. Then I got these 2 packs of yarn. This is the one colorway. This is the other colorway. I have that paper right here. It was $10 for these packs. Yeah, they were $9.99. It's a 2-ply gradient yarn. This is the rustic colorway, and this is a nostalgic colorway. It's supposed to be enough to make a blanket, but these are like, this is a number 2 yarn, and it's 100% acrylic. That latch hook mat just fell on my little dog and he just flipped out. Well, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to hurt you. I promise. I really wasn't. Anyway, it's got 220 yards. It's 2 ounces, 15.6 grams, 201 meters. So it's a number 2 fine weight. I don't know. Maybe I will get a blanket out of this. It just seems like really tiny yarn. So we'll see. If I can make a blanket out of this for $10, that's pretty good. So that is my order from Hirschner's. Oh, and that Willow Drift yarn was $6.99 for a skein. But like I said, I had 8% off and just the 18 cents shipping, which was pretty good. So next, those are the plans I kind of have with that yarn. Next, I'm going to show you my little, I finally found some clearance yarn at Walmart. I walked by and there was a bucket full of yarn. I was like, oh, because I've been seeing clearance table everywhere, no yarn in them. So I thought, well, I guess they're not going to put anything on clearance. But I did find some. I got buzz in my mouth. Okay, so I found these Burnett Pops for $1. Yeah. And I haven't ever bought any of them because I didn't always like the colorways, but this was actually one that I did like, the black and white. I got 4 of them. There were 4 in the bin. I got all 4. So I just want to show you the two of the different ones because they look really different, even though they're the same colorway. They are ebony and ivory. So, and this is, what is this? A number 4 size yarn. So these have, it's 100% acrylic. It's 5 ounces or 140 grams, 280 yards, or 256 meters. So I got 4 of these, all in the same colorway. I was glad to find them all in the same colorway because sometimes when you find clearance yarn, you find like one in this colorway, one in that colorway. So I was excited to find them all in one colorway, and there was for just $1 too. So, and then I got some Burnett blanket yarn. It was also $1. I've been eyeballing this and thinking about getting it, but it was always, it would take so much to make a blanket, if you were to make a blanket, because there's, what is this, 5.3 ounce, 150 grams, it's only 108 yards, or 98 meters. It is 100% polyester. It's like that chenille thread, but I got 2 in this colorway, which is Oceanside, and I got 1 in this light teal colorway. So, but since I don't have enough to make an actual blanket with it, I really couldn't pass it up there for $1 a skein. I think this is like $6 to $10 or something. I don't know. I know it's always seemed like too much for the amount of yarn. when I was in the store. So I am going to make this octopus. I should have enough. I may have to get one more skein. Look how big that thing is. It's huge. But it is made with a bulky weight yarn. I got this pattern off Etsy. Ali Mori. That's the name on there. I'll put a link down below. But I don't know how big that person is that's holding that. But it's a giant octopus. And I think it's awesome. And I plan on making, since I have 2 of these, I'll make that pink part will be this color. And then the under the tentacles will be the teal color. I think it'll look pretty good. So I'm excited about it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I may give it to someone for a gift. I don't know who yet, but I may just keep it because I like it. But I still want to make it. So that's what I have planned with that yarn. So now, the other 2 things I got was some Wool Ease Thick and Quick. This was $1.50. And I got 3 in this color. This is Moonlight. I really like that color. And then I got 3 in this color, which I really like too. This is River Run. So, since I found 3 of each, I should be able to make some kind of scarf or something out of this, or cowl or something. This is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. There's only 87 yards on these. 5 ounces, 140 grams, or 80 meters. So, but yeah, that was a good find. And I was happy to find 3 in each colorway. So, those were $1.50. So that was my little Walmart yarn haul. I forgot about something. Hang on just a second. Okay. What I forgot was that I picked up 2 skeins of yarn at Walmart yesterday because I really love the colorways. It's some new colors. I think they're new. I haven't seen them in my Walmart before. From Karen Simply Soft. Autumn. Look at that. Sunset Autumn. Look at those colors. I love this colorway. Really love this is kind of a light grayish. Well, it's more of a tannish gray. I don't know. I love that colorway. So I picked up that, and then I also picked up this. I have seen this before, but I don't think I've seen this color in mine. It's Simply Soft Tweeds and Gray Heather. Look at the little specks in there. I love tweedy yarn. And this is so soft. I have a plan for a new pattern for next month, which may be a paid for pattern. But I got to see how that all works out, because I'd like to have someone test it before I make a paid for pattern. But I'd really like it to be available for October. So you can check my Instagram feed for and my blog when I put out looking for testers. But you will need to know for that pattern how to do corner to corner crochet, a crocodile stitch, and a bobble stitch. So that's all I'm going to say about it. But if you're interested in testing patterns, just let me know. I've got to write it up still, so it's still in the works. But I would like to know if you're interested. So, let's see. So these were regular price. I just really liked the colors and picked them up. So, which is, I don't always do that because I usually like to find a good deal. But anyway, and I also, I just had the darn things. Those buttons. They were under my foot the whole time. These are the buttons that came with my Darn Good Yarn Club. There you go. So, I finally found them. That's what they look like. Okay. I gotta get this finished up because I'm getting really tired. So, the other thing I got... if you hadn't noticed, Lion Brand Yarn has a dollar band going on. for some of their yarns. So yeah, I had to take advantage of that. They had their wool spun in the dollar bin. And this is a 80% acrylic, 20% wool. This colorway is violet. And I got honey. I got one of each color for the most part. Of the solids, coffee. And then here is tomato. Yeah. Then I got 3 of each of the speckled ones. These are still in the plastic, but you can still see them pretty good. Forest print. And got more of the Mesa, even though I had some of this already. And I was kind of perturbed because I paid $12 for those 3 skeins, and these only cost me $3. Anyway, you can see how different that one on the end looks compared to the other 2. There's a lot more orange in there than it seems. And then I got 3 of the quarry print. And they still have this stuff in the dollar bin. And now when I put this stuff in my cart, it said it was on back order. And I thought, well, does that mean it's not no more left? But it let me order it still. But I did wait. It seemed like it took a little longer than last time I ordered from them. And then like Tuesday after Labor Day, I got an email saying they had shipped my order. And I was like, oh, great. And it got here this week. So I was like, so it's, even if it says that when you put it in your cart, if it lets you order it, go ahead and order it. I don't know how much of the stuff they got lying around. I know that I did order one of these fettuccinis. And I didn't realize when I ordered this that solids, you just get random colors for solids and then they have prints. I thought it was the colors I was looking at. Or I would have ordered more of it. Because I saw Bag A Day Crochet. She ordered like 60 skeins of this. But she got all kinds of different colors and all kinds of different prints. She really likes this. And this is just, I like this because it's undetermined fibers, textile byproduct. So it's like stuff that may normally get thrown away from when they make knit fabrics and stuff. But they turned it into yarn, which I think is really cool. I do like the color I got, the dark blue. But I'm not going to order anymore because I have a bin full of knit scraps over there that need to be cut into yarn already. So, but it's still available if you want to go get some. So I got all that wool spun, and I got, let's see, this Woolies Thick and Quick. This is again 80% acrylic, 20% wool, super bulky. This is Bluebird. I just got one of each of these, Bluebird and Martin Azul. So those were in the dollar bin. And then one color of Heartland was in the dollar bin. This Monet McKinley. And I love this Heartland yarn too, so it's becoming one of my favorites. That's not one of my favorite colors, that pink, but for $1, I could blend it with something. And then, oh, got 2 more things in here. Yeah. Okay, I ordered 3 of these. It's Sunray color. This is Textures, is what it's called. It is a very textured yarn. I can feel it through the plastic. And then one in this colorway, Ocean Waves. I don't want to turn the plastic though. But, so that was all from the dollar bin on linebrand.com. And I will say, I am all yarned up. Yarned up, y'all. I don't have room for all my yarn, so I need to crochet. So next month's Yarny Podcast, I will definitely not have as many new yarn purchases. It'll probably be whatever I get in my yarn clubs. I haven't gotten my Mary Maxim yarn club yet for this month, so I'm waiting to see what that one is. Okay, a few more things before I let go of y'all. I'll change my angle on my camera a little bit because my phone was about to die. I had to plug it up. Some upcoming things. Bonita Patterns is about to start. Well, they've released you get the materials list or whatever you want to call it. A new crochet along. It is their embossed sleeves seamless cardigan, which I love. And I'm seriously thinking about using my ombre yarn for it, which I had right, oh there it is. Because this is a 50 acrylic and cotton blend, just like the yarn they use for that, their yarn that they have. Because their yarn is $16 a skein, and it takes 5 balls of it, and I'm not paying that much for it. I'm sure it's awesome yarn, and I was going to order some when I did the crocodile poncho, because it didn't take as many, and they had a coupon, but it's just, I don't want 5 skeins of it. But I'm thinking about, I can get a little more of this, and it won't be, it cost me I think $25, I figured up all together, if I just use the ombre yarn. So I'm thinking I'm going to use it to make that instead of the shawl that I was going to make it with. So that is something in the mix. And I'm working on matching more of my patterns to my yarn and making a plan with them, and cataloging that. So once I come up with a system, I'll show y'all that. And then I just bought this pattern. This is a new pattern just released from Jane from, the name was on here. Oh my gosh. I think it's Scraptastic Yarn. I think that's her podcast. And that's terrible because she mentioned me in her podcast, and I really appreciate that. And I should have wrote that name down, but I'll have it across the screen so you'll know exactly what it is. But I'm pretty sure it's Scraptastic Yarn Podcast. But she just released her, I guess this is her first pattern, and it's called Spring Garden Shawl. It's very pretty. I purchased it off of Ravelry. It's $4. And I think I'm going to use one of my other mandalas to make this, the Sphinx. I think she used worsted weight. But with a shawl, sometimes that just can change the width of it. Okay, so she used bulky yarn, so I might not be able to do that. So we'll see. But that is something that I would really like to make upcoming. And yeah, I showed you all the other ones. There is a crochet along from, I talked about the holiday stash down crochet along, which it actually started on the 3rd of the 4th of this month. And so they have one pattern release. They release a pattern every week. It's usually like items that you could use as gifts. And it's put on by the Underground Crafter. And they have a Ravelry group and a Facebook group. But the first pattern was a hat, which I haven't gotten to make that yet. But and usually I don't make everything in there, because sometimes I don't know somebody I could gift that to, or whatever it is, the pattern. So, but it's a fun little crochet along. I think they do have prizes and stuff, but just once a week they release something that's usually pretty easy to crochet and can be done in a week. So, and then they also, if you know who Two Hearts Crochet is, they have a crochet along that just started. It is a marine life crochet along. It is a corner to corner pictogram kind of Afghan. So, but that is all I have for today. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Think about subscribing. And I'm going to have to let you go because I'm running out of time on my video on my phone as well. So, I will see y'all next time.